Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We're your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how are you doing?
Well, Tyler, it's safe to say I'm chilling. You know, we got a little bit of a film to talk about here, and I know you and I are not going to see eye to eye on this, but
No, we're not.
this
We're
one it
not.
is.
What's the last film we disagreed on? It's been a while.
Absolutely has. That would take some research to find out.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, Halloween Kills. We were in agreement. We were in agreement for a lot of stuff, but yeah, we oh, Matrix Resurrections. We were in
Yeah,
disagreement on that. So all of 3 months ago.
yep. It's been a while. Welcome
So
back,
yeah,
pal.
yeah, we are not our first film of 2022, though it was one of the first films of the year. We're talking about Scream or Scream 5. It's just called Scream. It's set continuation from the first four. It's got some new characters in it. Obviously, as with every Scream movie, there's going to be big twists and turns. So we will be talking about them. We kind of have to, the Scream movie. So there will be full spoilers. Also, for reference, I will be talking about the new film based on having watched the first and the newest one, and that's it. Mike will be giving his opinion, having watched the entire Scream film series.
You gotta get some perspective there, pal.
Yeah, you can, look, I'm a novice in the horror films and all that. Mike here is the expert. He is the professor of these types of films. So, Professor Mike, I will pass it off to you. Why didn't you like Scream?
Well, let me start by talking about what I liked first. Let me do that. So I generally did like the characters. Like they weren't bad characters. I'll give them that. Acting was pretty solid. Of course, David Arquette killed it as Dewey, his last run.
He did. R.I.P.
He saw where this franchise was going. He's like, all right, get me out.
He's got a dip.
Hold me out, coach. I'm done. But this, I feel like he kind of chewed the scenery though when he was on it.
Yeah, but chewed the scenery in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like he wasn't a main character in this movie. Would you argue that?
I don't know. I would consider him one of the main characters for the simple fact that what he does in his death progresses the plot further. It's what brings Sidney back in, even though early on they're like, don't come here. Don't worry, I'm never coming back to the town. Well, now Dewey said, well, fuck it, I'm here now. Where is this guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I would say he's the main character in the fact that his actions and his death move the plot forward.
Yes, it did. I guess I was just going off like sheer screen time.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I mean, even go by screen time, like the brother sister combo in the high school group, like I wouldn't consider them the main characters either. But I consider them main characters.
They were part of the overall friend group though, so they kind of were main characters.
Yeah, but if we go by screen time, I feel Dewey had a bit more.
Okay.
Okay, let's break it down like this. Courtney Cox's character, I feel, had less screen time than Dewey. So if you want to give any of the returning ones a side character, she's one of them. She's not a main character.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. It's hard for me to say.
Well, how about Sidney? How about Sidney then? She appears in one scene and then doesn't show up until the end.
I was going there.
Okay.
I was going to say I wouldn't consider this a story for the OG cast. You know what I mean? So I don't consider them the main characters because this isn't their story. This is the one film that it actually has nothing to do with Sidney at all.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I mean, I feel it's kind of Dewey's story, if anything. I mean, it's mostly the new characters. I agree with you. But old characters, it is Dewey's story.
Yeah, that is true.
The way his life, how his life handled after the breakup, being forced to retire. This is very much a culmination for his character over the past few films. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
So you like the characters?
They handled Dewey's character very well.
Yes.
The motivation of the two killers was just stupid. Like there was some really dumb motivation before in the previous ones.
I'm going to disagree with you, but continue.
All right, so I'll go over it from the standpoint of the films, right? Scream 1, Billy and Stu were the killers. Stu, there really is no specific reason why he did it, but Billy was get revenge on Sidney's mom for tearing apart his family. Or so we thought, but we'll get to that. Scream 2, it was Billy's mom for, you guessed it, killing her son. So those are,
What? She'd be upset?
yeah, her son that she left, though. So there's that. And then you get Scream 3, which is probably the worst. Your long lost brother, Sidney. I'm here to kill you because mommy didn't want me. Yeah, Scream 3 is the biggest shit show. This movie is not worse than Scream 3, I'll say that. Scream 4, she wanted to be famous. That's pretty much it. But these guys, these special fuckos, what they wanted was to influence the next Scream movie that was going to be made.
Okay.
That's just kind of dumb.
You think so?
Yeah. What's your rebuttal there, pal?
All right. Hold on, I'm just looking through my files here of all this evidence I have. But okay. So again, I'm someone who has not watched 2, 3, and 4. However, it is quite clear, even from the onset, the first Scream movie, while it's technically a horror film, it parodies horror tropes.
That is true.
All right. That's what makes this franchise unique. There are some scary moments. There are some bloody deaths, but it still is able to maintain the meta, the meta-ness of the horror, but horror films do. What I liked about this movie is it took the modern version of fans and communities online and it turned them into villains. Now, I'm not here to shit talk any community directly, but the fan base for films over the past 10 years, depending on the film, has done, the power they have is dramatic. Case in point, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That film was supposed to never exist, doesn't happen. So much push for years. HBO Max needed content. Boom, 70 million dropped on the finished product. Fans are satisfied. Now that's a positive reception. The Last Jedi, that kind of broke Star Wars fans in half. You either appreciate the film, you respect the film, but maybe you don't like the choices. And then the insane group is, you ripped apart my childhood, you destroyed all the characters I love, I hate you, Disney, I hate you, Rian Johnson. There's a lot of vitriol with those fans, and that's not healthy. So another thing is, since I didn't watch 2, 3, and 4, I wasn't really aware of the fact that these movies are movies in this universe as the Stab series.
Yes.
But when they were talking about how, was it Stab 7 or Stab 8, try to go woke or SJW or whatever, I see that stuff all the time online when, new movies come out and, they're turning it to, to the leftists or whatever. So the fact that I thought the writers were able to turn these are believable villains. Now, you might think it's stupid, and that's fine. But who's to say, for example, The Last Jedi, what if there's a crazy Star Wars lunatic that, God forbid, tries to attack a cast member from The Last Jedi? Just for example, that would be terrible. But there is so much vitriol online that I could believe it being attempted. So
yeah, in the very rare cases.
Yes. But we see every day, or every month, actors talk about how all the social media abuse they get verbally. People sending them DMs of the nastiest stuff ever said. So I don't think it's too far gone to be like, what if the fan snap and actually did something legitimate, physical, in person, possibly murder? A little bit of rambling at this point, but from where I came from, I like how they mentioned 4chan or and Reddit and the communities and how they're too. That's like,
the script was very well written. I'm just personally not a fan of the motives. I think
I thought the motive was fine. Now, it's like I thought the motive was fine. My issue with the villains is more of honestly, I'd say Dewey's death's my main issue with the villains.
Yeah, that one was pretty dumb.
Like you're telling me the girl was able to lift him up with the 2 knives? I don't know.
You never know, man. Maybe he helped.
Dewey lifted
Um,
himself up. He jumped.
yeah. He just shifted his toes up a little bit.
You seem a little stuck there. Let me just raise it up a little. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, let me make this easier. Um, okay, so you ready for the big guns here, Tyler?
Sure.
So Billy Loomis's illegitimate daughter. Let's go into that. So you mean to tell me Billy had an affair the same year he was the killer and geared towards doing that?
Yes.
I
Now,
don't believe it.
okay.
Based
So
off of the character motives from the film, Billy was just kind of focused on killing Sydney.
you're right. And before I say anything, I will say you have more of a case here, I think, on setting up the Billy illegitimate daughter than the motives being like too out there for the film. However, my counter argument to the illegitimate daughter, Billy makes it a point in the first film that Sydney doesn't have sex with him, and they've never done it. They are high school seniors. So who is to say between his lust for revenge and murder, he just doesn't sleep with someone else? Now, that does bring up the issue of how that word did not get around.
Correct. Because it's a small town high school, right? Like it's not like this like a big city or it's it's
And I would say another thing that caught my eye in this film is clearly whoever he was sleeping with, they were doing it for a while because the daughter mentions that she started reading the diaries. And, she mentioned how like the diaries were normal at first, but then the diaries turned into, oh my God, it turned out the guy I'm sleeping with, Billy, is a serial killer. And that's how she finds out. So it's clearly wasn't like a one and done kind of thing.
correct. So my question is, how did he have the time to do all this?
I mean, that's the question you get from this. My question is just like, how long has it been going on? Because time wise, I mean,
I'm thinking about the timeline of the movie, right? Because
yeah,
so let's talk about the first one for a second. If Billy and Stu, they pick their targets, right?
yep.
You mean to tell me they didn't rehearse, plan out? They would have had to have staked out several nights.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of time for prep. You're in a
that's
normal
what
relationship with Sydney.
You're in high school, so you got to go to school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're assuming if they did much of any homework.
Yep, I doubt they were doing homework, but they were still at school for the morning and latter part of the day.
Yeah, they could be skipping the occasional class.
True. This is the 90s.
Was Billy living by himself? I think so, right?
No, with his dad.
With his dad. Okay.
So I'm finding it hard to believe that he could fit all that in, have another side woman and a full relationship that we did see a part of.
So do you think then it would be no, Stu was in a relationship in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I was gonna say no, it makes no sense for Stu. Also, Stu wasn't the smartest person to be doing it anyway.
No. But going into another part, his daughter's hallucinations of him.
I agree with you there.
Like
the only thing I can think of is possibly a photo in the newspaper, but how would you know
that's his exact clothes? Like, yeah, and like those were the clothes he wore that he died in. Number one, like
with the blood stains, not even like a clean shirt that he wore at the party. No, it's after his murder spree. It's when he died.
It's like how do you know exactly how this looks? Oh yeah, like you could argue all the movies, but the movies are going to be that accurate. Then, and it was just kind of weird that she was kind of fighting that. So it's like, okay, was Billy actually semi-schizophrenic? Because that's kind of schizophrenic behavior when you're seeing people that aren't there.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they made it a point she is slightly schizophrenic.
I don't pay attention to that.
Or at least she was taking medicine for it.
Yeah, we know she was taking medicine, but
yeah,
granted they didn't specify, so that's possible. But yeah, just knowing how exactly he looked in his conversations with her was kind of like.
I will say, props to the crew for finding like for making it actually look like Billy without using like de-aging CGI. Like it actually looked pretty good.
They didn't use de-aging.
No, just found an actor. So
Yeah, it did look pretty convincing. I'll give them that.
yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, Mike, it's a smaller budget movie. I think they made this for like 25 million. They ain't using de-aging CGI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like this looks better than getting the other actor to play Jack Nicholson in Doctor Sleep for reference.
Yeah, Tyler,
Um,
they didn't get a whole different actor. They got the same actor.
for Billy?
Yeah, that's Skeet Ulrich, pal.
Really?
I was like, yeah, that was definitely Skeet Ulrich. I was like, if anything, they use makeup, but
Oh, okay. He looked a little off, but okay.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
why
yeah,
I
I guess
thought
it's been 20 years, but yeah.
that's why I was saying it, because they're de-aging. Because it did look a little bit off, but he
Mhm.
did look relatively young.
I think that's what threw me off. He looked young. I was like, there's no way this is him 20 years later. Because at this point, he's his early mid 40s. Like, this can't be. But yeah, you're right. Probably makeup at that point. And look, from what we learned with the Batman, you can do anything with makeup.
Yes, you can, but we're not here to talk about the Batman, Tyler.
No, no. Let's actually talk about some good things with Scream, since I feel like I've been on the defense here with some of its choices.
Yes, you have.
The kills were good. The kills were good. Again, the only issue I had with Dewey's death was it was the
Who
girl
did
that
it?
killed him. But otherwise, the two blades sliding up the body, I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was a good
good.
touch.
I liked how they used some more modern tech in the
Wait
kills.
a minute. Hold on, Tyler.
What?
Do you remember the finishing move in Black Ops
Yep, it was
with
the exact
Scream?
same thing.
So did Scream the movie just steal something from Black Ops?
No, it does make me wonder if they internally though had a release date of October because it's not normal for a horror movie to come out in January unless it sucks.
Yeah.
So what I think happened is this was supposed to be a cross promotion, right? Come out on Halloween, new Scream movie. You see the finishing move. You know, you watch the movie, have a good time, go to Black Ops, buy the Ghostface package. But with COVID, I think they delayed it a few months, so it's like whatever. You're not going to not use the assets.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, I noticed when it did, I was like, oh my god, it's a finishing move.
It definitely was. Dewey was finished.
Yeah, Dewey did not have enough kills for the kill streak. Let me tell you, he did not have enough of that UAV.
No. Just to shit on that scene once more. Come on, Dewey. You've been in the game so long. You should have reloaded and shot that bitch from like 20 yards away.
He's right. You got to shoot him in the head. You don't have to shoot that close though.
Yeah, well, why are you getting that close?
Yeah.
Especially when the killer always has one last jump scare.
And that
The
one last one
rules
got him.
set by its own goddamn movie that he didn't follow.
Look, he's exhausted. All right, he already solved who the murderer was. All right, like 5 minutes in when he showed up. So give him a break. All right, so the kills were good. I thought overall, I thought it was a good film. I thought it was a good Scream film. I thought it was a good horror film. I think it's also good how they did leave it open for a sequel, which will be coming out next year now because it was a success.
Shocker. I mean, I do understand the mass appeal for this movie. I think
Yeah.
I'm just shitting on it harshly because I do enjoy the Scream. Well, the majority of the Scream movies, I guess.
Was it Scream
I
3
guess
being
that's
left
why.
outside?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
No,
I
and
prefer
look, I
Scream
think you
to-
bring up a good point. Well, I think the moles are good and all that. And on paper, Billy sleeping with someone else kind of makes sense when you
Yeah,
start to think
it
about the
just kind
logic of it.
I feel like it's kind of like one of those, oh yeah, he did because the writer said so type of deal.
Oh no, that's exactly what it is.
So like trying to shoehorn it in just didn't really.
No, because you're
fit.
right. If you start trying to like zoom in on how exactly would this fit in with the first Scream movie, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. One thing I will give movie props for is the opening kill was pretty solid. The cat and mouse game of that, it really felt like an updated version of the first Scream kill and
Yeah.
just modern. So I have to give them props for that because I feel like they nailed that. They really did. Yeah, just the movie just didn't fully do it for me. I don't have too many other positives or negatives for that matter.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up with our ratings then. It's a yes for me. It's a yes for me. It's a good watch. You'll have a good time. You should at least watch the first Scream to get some understanding of the older characters, but
You really should watch all of them.
you
Actually,
should watch
You're
all of
gonna
them. I'm
get
saying at a
understanding
minimum.
the whole story.
Look, I know, I understand I got to catch up as well, but as someone who's only watched the first one, I had a good time watching it. I got the crux of what the old characters' motivations were. So, but yeah, if you have time to watch them all in order, watch them all in order. Mike, though, it seems like you kind of don't recommend 3. Should they skip 3?
The 3, honestly, yeah, 3 did nothing for the story.
Okay.
The only thing, okay, actually, hold on, I'll bring up another negative real quick before we end this fucking thing. The only thing, so in this movie, Gale and Dewey are separated again. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. How many times? End of the first movie, they get together. Second movie, oh, nope, they're not together. End of that movie, they get together. Third movie, not together. Fourth movie, they're married. Fifth movie, nah. Like, come on. Pick a lane.
Oh,
Pick a
they
lane.
picked the lane. He's dead.
What's with the stupid fucking romance drama that no one cared about? Just like, why? But yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I would recommend you watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix instead, because yes, that movie is not as good of a movie, but at least it was more entertaining.
So you're saying the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that was sold to Netflix is more entertaining than the new Scream?
Yeah, I had a lot more fun watching that.
Okay.
I hate to admit it, I really do, because
No, if that's your opinion, you
not
gotta
many
say
good.
it. You gotta say it. Don't force a yes. Okay.
No, I'm not forcing a yes. It's
No,
still
no,
a
no,
no.
no. I prefer you being honest with your rating.
Yep. But with all this honesty, I just want some more honestness. Every single one of you. I want to know what you guys thought about the new Scream and how it fit in with the franchise, what you liked, what you didn't like. As always, feel free to let us know at Entertainment Expansion. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. As always, thank you for listening.